Good evening, everybody. Pardon that little throat clearing exercise there. And welcome to Ben's Camera Show. Yes, Season 2, Episode 9. Oh my God, we're nearly at the end of the season. Wow. Exciting. Very exciting for me. Well, it's not. I mean, it's exciting, but it's a sort of a... I feel like that kind of end of term feeling is almost upon me. Where, you know, you go through the motions, you don't really care. You know, there's... No. I'm kidding. I'm not going through the motions. I never fail to at least attempt to put on a top quality show for you lovely people. And thanks all for joining me. And what a great show I've got tonight. I always say that. But it is always a great show. Is it? Or not? It is. It's a especially good show tonight because we're going to look at some cameras with a whole host of features, packed, I would say, packed with amazing features, all ready for the people of 1980, just before VHS came along. Yes, that's right. Tonight we are looking at the end of the line for Super 8 cameras. We're going to look at four of almost, in three cases, the last Super 8 cameras that some very, very decent manufacturers ever made. And the fourth is one, well, it's from 1975. I don't have the last one they have. You know, that's still out there somewhere. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. What did I do this week? Well, it's been a week of ups and downs. Of, like I said, of some good stuff and some not so good stuff. Let's start with the not so good stuff that happened this week. Well, I went to the woods with a little chin on. Where have I gone? Here I am. I went to the woods with little chin on and some lovely UN-54 film in a reloadable cartridge. And, well, this happened. This isn't in the woods, but you can just about see there's my cat on the kitchen table. Get off the table! Bloody hell, that cat's always on the damn table. Oh, dear, look, I must have misjudged the focus, right? Yeah? I must have just, you know, confused feet with meters or something. Maybe you can shrug off one bad shot with that kind of thing, but not an entire roll, because that's right. This entire roll came out of focus. Something very, very wrong there. Don't worry about it just dragging like this. Why would a whole roll go out of focus? That's this is the most in focus shot I got, the entire roll. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Luckily I got this film cheap in bulk. And I developed it myself, so I wasn't out like 120 pounds and discovering that, everything has gone doolally. What happened, I think, was the pressure plate on the reloadable cartridge was either sticking out too much, or it was at an angle, or somehow the film was not going through directly at the film plane. I know the camera was okay because it looked fine through the eyepiece, and I have since tested that camera with other film and other cartridge, and it looks fine. But unfortunately, some lovely shots here, completely ruined by blurriness, by a dodgy cartridge. I have now labelled that cartridge dodgy. John Oates says impressionist film. Well, that's very kind of you, John. You know, I can see a rubbish film when I see it, but I mean, we could call it impressionist. Listen, when film looks bad, it's still... Oh dear, sorry about that. I keep forgetting that. Where is the intro? Damn it. Sorry about that, everyone. Things are going great. Yes, even when film looks bad, it looks okay, but that looked bad. So I thought to myself, well, going from black and white, silent and blurry. Can we do any better than that? Well, maybe we can. Maybe I can. Maybe I can with some sound film. Maybe with some color sound film. Maybe with some color sound film shot on one of the last color sound cameras. What am I talking about? Well, this is going to be one of those old-fashioned Ben's camera shows where I just bring out a whole ton of cameras, one after the other. And we have a look at them. Yay, because that's what my reputation was built on. None of this fancy stuff. Just bringing out one camera after the other. So, firstly, I've got to go into my... little box over here. Goodbye. And hello. Boing. There we go. All right. And let's get the background picture off. And let's get the main camera, the overhead camera on. Hey, we got some progress here. So what are we looking at first? Well, I'm going to get the picture up here. Let's have some music for this one. You know, I like to have some non-copyright YouTube music to introduce my cameras. So it's a Bolex 564 XLAF. Look at this monster. Oh my goodness me. What a beast. Okay, I mean, where do I start? This was made in 1980 by Chinon for Bolex. I don't know why Bolex sent it out to Chinon to make. Maybe they were just kind of like, oh, we're done with Super 8. VHS is killing us. Just put everything we've got into one camera and send it to Chinon. They're good with that stuff. It's even got a Bolex lens cap. I do like that. Now, let's start with this AF here. In fact, let's zoom in a little bit. Yeah, let's get a bit closer to what we're looking at here. Okay, AF stands for autofocus, and that's the reason for this clunky, boxy-looking thing below the lens here. This whole sort of unit here is an autofocus unit made by maybe Bolex, who knows. It's got controls on it for manual, focus, normal, high, and autofocus. Oh, the autofocus has two, high and normal. It's a moot point because this autofocus doesn't work, unfortunately. Yeah. In fact, this is gonna be a bit of a common theme to the show tonight, in that many of these cameras have got, shall we say, issues. Yes. Well, you know, the more complex you make a camera, the more that can go wrong with it. That's what my great-grandmother used to say. Let's get some batteries in here. She never said that. I never even met her. Any of them. Okay, so batteries. The batteries in this camera, and with many similar cameras, come in this 6-battery pack. And you just load that into there, and you load that into there. Easy. Click it shut, and away we don't go. Okay, this camera seems to work when it feels like working. Let's try another one. Let's try this one. Give it a minute. It'll come around. There it goes. Okay, right. In fact, let's hear that. Let's hear what the Bolex sounds like. I'll put it underneath where the action is, and that's not a bad sound for a sound camera. It's not the, you know, of a Canon. It's not quite this almost silent purr of a Nizo, but it's got a. You can't hear that very well from across the room, which is good, because this is a problem that all these cameras had, which is picking up the noise of the motor on its own microphone. Luckily, the Bolex has an extended microphone. In fact, many of these things have extended microphones. The Canon AF310 XLS had an extended microphone. I know, because I used to own one, and the thing broke. But never mind about that. So yeah, it's got an extended microphone, just to look even more weird. Let's go through some of the other features on this thing. Well, this is a, let's zoom in again. This is a fade and dissolve button thing, lever. I think the deal is that you fade out, you film, you fade out, you press it, and then when you start filming, you fade back in. I don't really like that, and then out again. So I believe that opens and closes the iris. I don't think it's done with the shutter. Who knows? It might be. Here you have fade setting, and that's P, S and P, and S. I believe that's sound and picture, and just picture. So it can fade It can fade the image, it can fade the sound, or it can fade both, which is nice. BLC, that's exactly like the Chinons. That's backlight correction. It's even written in the same font as the Chinons. And here, 36, well, that's 36 frames a second. So if you press that while you're filming, we've all been here, you're going to get fast motion. So, slow motion. Fast film, slow motion. So let's hear the... Okay, now press the button. Ah! Benjamin Merritt says, that's a chunky bit of kit. You're damn right. It's heavy as well. Anyway, not only does it have the fade and the dissolve and the backlight correction and the going into slow motion, it's got a timer as well. It's got a, I believe it is a time-lapse timer, which is great. I've not used it. Maybe it works. Maybe it doesn't. Let's see if I just put it on run lock and... Okay, I hear nothing. Oh! Okay, there it goes. Listen to that. Every so often, 1 second of film, maybe? I don't know. Maybe it's 1 minute between bursts. It went on once, and then, then it stopped. What about if I put it on 2? Are these intervals between frames, or are they the number of seconds that it shoots for? Don't know. You see, I try not to overtax these old cameras too much. I mean, okay, well, it waited for a while, then it came on for a couple of seconds. Go figure. Sound level, mic 1, mic 2. This is very nice. It has 2 microphones. You can plug one into here, and you can use the onboard microphone. In fact, I have some footage. Well, I have footage later where I plug both microphones in. Over on the other side, we have, well, there's the battery test. Nice. It works. Here's a 6 volt external power. Or is it output? No, it's an input. 9 volt, I think it says. Yes, 9 volt. And here is a flash sync. They've put everything in the kitchen sink into this camera. Here, thank goodness, you've got a manual exposure level. So, yep. Here's your sun filter. And here is is a selection between automatic and manual exposure. I mean, has anything ever been put on a Super 8 camera that this thing doesn't have? I can't think of anything. I mean, every special feature you've ever seen on a Super 8 camera that was in here. Inside, well, it's a fairly normal film compartment. What have we got in the way of... Oh, dear. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, you can't... I'm going to have to zoom in. Okay, here's something that it's slightly lacking in that it can only meter... There's only one button here, which means it can only tell the difference between your old 40 ASA and the 160 ASA cartridges. So, okay, at a pinch, it'll run 200 probably if you do something with the exposure. It'll do 50, 100. You might have a problem. 100 ASA film, Ektachrome, don't know. 500. Ooh, don't even try it. Well, you can try it. Just don't expect it to automatically meter it. What else? Well, there's not much else. I mean, it's rapidly gone through every single one of these. Let's zoom out a bit. Oh, and I wish I could weigh it. Yeah, sadly, the autofocus, like I said, it's toast. Let's put it on. Oh, it's still on the timer. Oh, damn it. That's going to do something weird now with the timer. Oh, no, still on. So if I put this autofocus on, say high, yeah, you can hear... Is that the focus or the zoom? It's, no. This one's the zoom, this one's the focus. And now it's not really having any effect, the autofocus, unfortunately. Oh, Tio Manny says, self-timer control or interval timer if set to single frame. Ah! You're probably right. I have to put it on single frame. Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, I forgot. It's got frame speed. It's got film speed. Single frame, 1824. Okay, well, let's try that. Let's just put it on run. Oops, not run lock. Oh, I see. Okay, it seems that if you push the thing in a little bit of the way, and then all the way, you hear that? There's like one frame being taken. I think that noise is actually something to do with the autofocus. Or it could be the sound head. And then listen. Yeah, that's one frame. So, I don't know. Well, let's try it, shall we? Okay, let's put it on one frame and then see what happens. Yeah, there we are. Those are frames. Thanks, Manny. Click, clock. Click, clack. Click, clack. Okay, so there we go. It does have a an intervalometer. Intervalometer, sound, fading, backlight correction. It's got it all except for an ASA knob. Oh, it's even got here. Not that it's that exciting. Something to lock off the eyepiece, viewfinder, so you don't accidentally expose your film through the viewfinder. If anyone's ever done that, I don't think I ever have. Anyway, it's yeah. Well, I went around and took some film of this thing. Shall we have a look to see what this looks like? See what the film looks like? Follow me into the screening room. Right. Now, I shot this on Agfa Moviechrome 40 sound film. And, well, you know, sounds not perfect. It did work. The development's not perfect. I will talk about the development later. But let's see how my footage turned out, shall we? 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and shooting. So, how did you walk today?
It was very good. We walked 5.4 kilometers so far. Yeah.
How far?
5.4.
Wow.
Yeah, I improved since.
Amy struggles when pushing a bike.
Oh, throw Amy under the bus on Super 8.
It's just my weird bike.
My weird bike.
You, not me.
Maybe.
Okay.
It's the bike.
Well, lovely walking with you today, girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's right.
oh my god! It's the Insta photo shoot.
Embarrassing my kids like any proper dad does. Okay, Agfa Moviechrome 40 on the Bolex, and we have 3 partially functioning, pretty crappy Sound Super 8 cameras here. They were quite something in their prime, but the sound functions in all 3 of them are gone, although the motors do run. So maybe we'll have a look at putting some silent film in there and recording on the Synchronex tape recorder, and then post-syncing it. Give them a chance, eh? Okay, right. Well, all right. Yes, I know. Yes. And if you think, oh, well, it doesn't look that good because you didn't put enough light on those cameras at the end. This is from the DSLR I filmed that from DSLR as well. That was so bright. That was like this bright. And yeah, it's maybe I underexposed it. It's true, but you know how this old film needs a couple extra stops of latitude. Well, it's not. I discovered it's not an indoor film. However much light you put on your camera, on your subject. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure it shoots your normal fresh stock fine. I mean, it works. It's just this sound stock it's not made anymore. The sound stock you get, if if you're lucky, you get some color stuff. If you're really lucky, you're able to develop it. And if you're not just really lucky, but extra skilled as well, then you can actually develop it and have it look nice. But the sound eludes me. There's good sound is a problem. And the reason why it had all that wow and flutter, that sort of noise, while you're hearing that, is because the sound, the film has to go past the gate and then through this sound head. And this is a problem. This is a recurring problem with these cameras, in that the sound heads, some of them don't record on the film. Some of them straight up mangle the film. And some of them won't even film anything, won't even run when you got a sound cartridge in. So that quite sorrowful piece of film I just showed you from this Bolex was actually the most successful of the native sound recordings I had with this thing. When I say native, I mean like, you know, sound actually recorded onto the film as well. Most other cameras, you know, I mean, these days you've got to record all that stuff separately. Manny says no problem, nearly identical to the Chinon Pacific. Ah, right, the Chinon. Yes, well, like I said, Chinon made this thing. They made it for Bolex, and there's so much of that going on in the old Super 8, or there was so much going on in the old Super 8 camera manufacturers thing. You know, Eumig's being made by Chinons, and Bolex is being made by Chinon, and other brands as well. Right, that's enough for the Bolex. Oh, do we have any? Let's see how much this thing costs. Let's see if you want to buy one of these on the eBay. Let's get that off. What have we got here? Bolex 564. Oh, for goodness sake, I never. There we go. Bolex 564 XLAF. £61 here. One was sold for. Plus, that was in America. Oh, from Italy. Okay, what else? Another one? Nope. And I haven't found an awful lot of these on eBay, to be honest. They haven't really, they don't seem to come up very often. I think a lot of them have just been straight up thrown away. You know, the people who like Super 8 cameras these days, they want something, you know, they want something reliable. And they don't expect to get sound on it. And if they do want sounds, if they've got any sense, they'll record it separately. Ah, well, it's a nice machine. I'm probably going to sell it for, well, I'll probably sell it for €71 if I can. That would be quite a score. Right, let's get eBay off and let's get on to the next camera. Music, please. Okay. The next camera is one I've actually featured on the show before. That's right. It's the but it does fit in this show. It's the let's get the music off. It's the Yashica Sound 50 XL Macro. I won't go into every single nook and cranny of it because you can look at. I think it was my very first show I did on it, and once again they've thrown everything in, including the kitchen sink. Okay, so it has. Well, that's your sun filter. Okay, I'll get onto that bit later. That's a bit confusing. It's got your external power. It's got a battery check if you press these buttons here. It's got batteries in it, and the battery check light has never come on. So I think the battery check light has gone. Oh dear. It's got this strange handle here, and you think, oh, it's one of those Bolio ones where you've got to handle it underneath. No. The handle swings around. If you're left-handed, it goes around this side. If you're right-handed, it goes around this side. And that makes it into a very 80s looking. I'm going to have to put my main camera on. There we are. Yeah, it makes it into a very 80s looking sort of handy cam looking thing. No other Super 8 camera had a handle quite like this one. And I think it's ahead of its time. This was in the late 70s. I mean, video cameras weren't even handheld at this time. So it's possible that video cameras actually got some of their design notes off this camera. And why not? You know, where else would they look except at the Super 8 cameras to see where to go when they design those. Now, okay, it's got your wide and telephoto lenses. It's hard to hold this thing in a way that. Oh, it's a healthy sound. Listen to that, the motor. Here we go. Doesn't sound too bad, really. Bit of hissy, but the knob's a bit squeaky. It's got the strongest power zoom and wide angle I've ever used. Listen to this. Okay, it may sound as weak and about to break as every other power zoom, but it's actually not bad. It's got some oomph to it. And the other side. Okay, right. There's tape over here. This is the cartridge eject button, which tends to fall off. So I've taped it to stop it falling off. I will show you inside this cartridge inside the film compartment in a minute, because there's something I want to show you about that. Now, here's a feature that they only put on these Super 8 cameras right at the very end, and they should have been on there from the very beginning. What's he talking about? Well, zoom in and have a look. Okay, it's such a simple thing. It doesn't even require any electronics or anything. But what it is a simple rotating dial here. So that if you take your camera out of the, if you take your cartridge out of the camera halfway through filming, and you might want to shoot something else, another different cartridge on it, you have to, the counter resets to 0. And this one resets to 0 too, but it's got this kind of diver's watch style knob here, where you can actually put a sort of a memorandum, if you like, a memo of the last place where your film was, the last time you shot, so that when you put the cartridge back in, you can then say, okay, this was, supposing it's in seconds for some reason. You think, oh, well, I shot about 60, I shot about a minute on this cartridge. So you put it up to 60 like this. And then as the cartridge thing goes around, you can see how close you are to the 200-second mark, which is the end of your roll. Very simple. In fact, the Bolex, let's get the Bolex back in here. Bring that Bolex back. Has something similar. Only the Bolex does it with a sliding switch, you see? You can actually, so supposing you shot 20 feet, and then you take the cartridge out and you put another one in, and you put the old cartridge back in, you think, I had 20 feet. So you put this, slide this thing to 20, and then when it reaches, this is your new gauge now, when it reaches 50, you're finished. So you can tell how much you got left in it. It's such a simple idea, just a little sliding thing. So you don't have to write your remaining footage on your camera. On your cartridge. Oh dear. Scott Chamberlain, Boston checking in. Hi, Boston. I love Bill Burr, let me just say. Talking of Boston. And this one, as I said before, this one actually takes another battery, a 9-volt battery for the sound. Now, I've had success with this thing before in shooting some sound, not enclosing this 9-volt. There we go. This thing, I don't know what this is. It feels like a kind of a shelf to. You could, I don't know. Maybe if you're smoking a cigarette, you can just sort of like perch it on there while you're shooting. And then retrieve it later, a bit like a pub toilet. Oh dear. I crack myself up sometimes, I really do. Right, sorry about this. Okay, Yashica Sound 50 XL. It has macro as well. It's a quite full-featured camera. And what did I do for a microphone? It doesn't have a microphone on top. It has a shoe to put a microphone on. It has even one of those old-fashioned style movie light screws. It doesn't have a mic built in, although you can plug one into the side here. But what about if I wanted to do a top-loading mic? Well, let me show you what I did. I got one of these, which is an absolutely incredibly long Sankyo extension mic, Sankyo telescopic condenser mic, and I put that on top of the Yashica. Unfortunately, this thing, all this insulation on the wire is going, and this thing leaves a little trail of little insulation bits wherever it goes. I've tried to get them all off, but yeah, been a problem. So I put that on the Yashica. Come on, get on with it. Did I have a picture of that thing on there? No, I didn't. Okay. Well, better than that. I've got something better than that. I've got the actual thing here, a Sankyo telescopic condenser mic, and it fits right on top of the Yashica. zoom out. Got to zoom out to show you this because my God, it goes a long way. This is the most telescopic of all telescopic mics I've ever used. Shame it's not working. Oh, spoiler alert. So yeah, it goes on there. Now, how much more badass does that look? Of course, they used to have a foam thing on there. I haven't put it on it. It probably disintegrated. But then it goes out and it just keeps going and going and going and going and going. And my goodness me. You go around like this. Okay, I'm going to have to put the main picture on again. Okay. Now, I can see... you could make a 3D film with this thing. I mean, you don't. The picture doesn't even give you an idea of how long this thing is. I think it's about. I'll show you. Okay, this is a way of showing it. Look, what's that? Do 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 do. It was ridiculous piece of equipment. Jesus, I'm knocking stuff over here. Anyway, all right. So there's the Yashica. The Yashica, which by the way, I tested that telescopic condenser mic. It did horribly. It sounded horrible, and I would love to gut it and put a decent mic in there. Maybe I can do that. Oh, what am I doing on the main screen? No more. Yeah. So Ben Marshall, is it statutory social distance length? That's a good point. It's not quite. It's not quite 2 meters, but considering that when people see you coming with this thing, it's about 1 meter, I would say, and maybe 3/4 of a meter. But considering that people will back off at like 1.5 meters when they see you coming, I think it all adds up to about 2 meters. They'll probably, in fact, this camera will prevent you getting COVID or any other disease because you just won't have any contact with anyone. But you can film them, and you won't pick up the sound of the motor with this extension thing. You might pick up the sound of another Super 8 camera's motor. It goes so damn fast, but not this one. Now this thing, I was going to talk about this, but finally, this camera does not have manual aperture. I've got all the other things in it, and it doesn't have manual aperture. And this is a bit of a theme with these bells and whistles camera. They seem to have done away with the very most basic thing, which is how wide, what your f-stop is. It's all auto, except for the fact that if you turn this to 4, it's auto, and then opens up a couple more stops after that, maybe 4 stops. Maybe what that 4 is for. And at 2, it opens up 2 stops above the auto setting. 1, that's the auto setting, and half, I guess that it stops down. It closes the aperture down slightly from the auto. And here is an EE lock, just in case you want a specific f-stop and you want to lock it there. As usual, like the Canon one, it only works when you keep it pushed in. So one hand or one finger's got to do that, and I don't know. It's a fudge, ladies and gentlemen. It's a bit of a fudge with this. I mean, why didn't they just put, like Sankyo did, do a simple, or Bolex, a simple aperture control? I don't know. Shall we see what this looks like? Right. Let's see some footage from the Yashica. Whoops, not that. I've shown Yashica footage before, and it worked fine. But yeah, here's some Yashica with sound recorded by this camera. Yeah, don't get your hopes up. I mean, it sounds like a Dalek taking a shit. Oh dear. Get them bloody cats off the yard. Oh dear. Let's get some more of that. It's obviously trying very hard. I mean, God knows what happened. Hi, everyone. Yeah. And that's all I got out of the Yashica, I'm afraid. I mean, damn it. I mean, the thing works. At least it works as a, to take film with. Like, I could put a silent cartridge in there. In fact, I'm getting to that, which is, the other two cameras I'm going to show you tonight, unfortunately, I had to put silent cartridges in because they straight up chewed up my sound cartridge. Yes, very great shame. In fact, let's see, what have we got? Oh, yeah, I even tried to clean it. Let's have a look. I got a nice picture here. Not this. Not that. Not that. Not that. Not that. Not that. I didn't load the picture. Oh, bollocks. Oh, well, never mind. Oh, that's a nice backdrop. Why didn't I load that picture? Well, anyway, I cleaned it. And I got a picture of the filth that was on the cleaning the Q-tip after I cleaned the sound head. And I thought, that's great. I cleaned the capstan. I cleaned the drum. I cleaned the sound head. I thought it's going to be the best sound of all on this thing. And what do I get? I get this noise, and that's all I can. That's all we got from the Yashica, I'm afraid. So what do you do when you've got a sound camera that won't record sound? Well, obviously, you put a silent cartridge in it and you record sound separately, which, completely invalidates the point of having a sound camera if you're just going to shoot silent on it. I mean, maybe you like how this footage looks. I don't know. Before we move on to results of me actually doing that, recording on separately, let's see how much one of these Yashica, or is it Yashicas, is going to... Oh, get off the main picture, for goodness sake. What have we got? $160! My goodness, mind you, that's got a box. I mean, that's some classy stuff right there. It says brand new, yeah, new in box. The item is original but opened packing. They never said if it actually works, but who knows? Maybe it works. 160. Someone else on the internet said that they sold it for 65 euros. So yeah, there is actually a market for these things. Most bizarre looking camera. Well, it's weird. It's a kind of like a here comes the video camera kind of camera. Video camera's camera. Yeah. So anyway, that's the Yashica. Yeah, I'm probably not going to hold on to that. What's next? What's next? Music, please. It's a... Oh, okay. Right, I'm going to have to zoom out all the way for this one. I bought this from a guy in Belgium. I think it was Yuri de Jong. Look at this. It's brand new. Brand new, everyone. That's right. It came in a box, in the original box. I don't have an awful lot of cameras in their original boxes, but I kept this one in the box so I can show you. Let's do an unboxing, everyone. Yay. What's in the box? In the box is some really old school polystyrene, aka styrofoam for our American friends. And inside the styrofoam is... Oh, it was upside down, damn it. All right, well, everything's come out of its compartments because it's upside down, but... Okay, this is the Eumig Sound 128 XL. Again, the last camera that Eumig ever made. Let's bow our heads in respect to the Eumig Sound. Let's get this stuff off. Oh, let's see what else. What other stuff you got in here? Well, you got a microphone cozy, and of course that goes on the microphone, which is in there. Oh crap! Everything's falling off. So it's got a fairly decent looking microphone. Not even going to bother getting that out right now. It's got okay. A mic stand, kind of boring, still in its original wrapper. This is good. This is nice. It also has an earpiece, an old school earphone with a tiny little, what is it called? A micro jack headphone. Unfortunately, you can't put regular headphones in here, just this micro jack one. And look, it's got a little it's a single mono earpiece. God, this takes you back, doesn't it? I mean, they don't sell those anymore. But best of all, two things are best of all. Firstly, Is this not the most badass silica gel packet you've ever seen? I wonder if it still works. Desiccant silica gel. Me arties. We're fly the Jolly Roger. Fly the silica gel flag, and we're all going for getting ourselves some pirate movies. Let's get this away. And the other thing that's really quite... Oh, the other two things which are... it's like the Spanish Inquisition. Three things that are really cool. This is great. This is a remote switch. So if you put it into here where it says REM, I'll zoom in a second. Then you can make it... Oh, it doesn't have batteries. Well, let's look at some batteries in. Look at this. It's the same situation. Here's one I filled up earlier. They all these 1980, 79, 80 cameras have got the same kind of battery pack, which is interesting. Right. So, right, it works, yes. The other thing it's got, well, I'll go on to that in a minute. I'll show you what's in this strange hockey puck looking thing here. Right. Zoom in a bit here. Now, Eumig, I mean, I've gone on about Eumigs before. Eumig are an Austrian company, a very illustrious maker of very fine cameras and projectors. In fact, they might even be better known for their projectors these days than their cameras. I'm going to be playing something off a Eumig projector in a minute. What's it got? What's in the box? Okay, that looks like your fade button here. That, oh God, you see, it's all done by symbols here. Battery check. That's your exposure lock. That will open your iris up one stop. So that's basically a backlight connection, backlight corrector, should I say? Little push down levers for your. Let's see if that works. Yay, it works. Push them down for wide angle and telephoto. So the zoom, power zoom works. That thing is just to switch off, the viewfinder. Look at this. It's got itself it's got a intervalometer. Intervalometers must have got cheaper to make or something in the late 70s, because a lot of cameras started putting these in. Thinking of the Canon, the really good, the Canon 814 XLS has got one, and that last Bolex has one, and they all got them. On the other side, not much, just the sun filter. Let's open her up, and here we go. That's your sound cartridge compartment. And what's this? That's a very odd place to put that. That will bump up your exposure 1 or 2 stops from the automatic. Yes, it doesn't have a fully manual exposure control. It's got this thing that goes, for some reason, it's under the cartridge. They put this in here. Underneath the cartridge, you have to use a coin as well to turn that up and down. I think the idea is you just adjust it once before you start shooting. I don't know. It sounds a bit weird. Very odd place to put that. Obviously, they just couldn't reach it otherwise. And here are your sound controls. We're looking quite familiar here. There's your headphone. Well, your little earpiece with the micro jack. Normal sound level, low sound level. Remote operation, like I just showed you. You plug this thing into there, and then you don't have to press the trigger or anything. You can just press this. Now, you might have heard that. Maybe you didn't hear that, but it's a noisy one, this. It's a bit of a screamer. It definitely needs lubrication, okay? This is probably my scratchiest... Listen to this. Oh! Oh, dear. Not a happy bunny. It's like, oh! Every time you... You want me to film? I'm not lubricated. Anyway, that's what it's saying to me. But it's a trooper. It goes on and does the job. It has not actually seized up one time, except when I tried to put a sound cartridge in it. Unfortunately, yes, it's one of those ones that doesn't like sound cartridges. It must be a lubrication thing. It's just, you know, what are you going to do? I mean, these things, I don't know how to open them up, to be honest. I could try. I'm likely to break it if I try. And there's there's the sound thing that goes up there. And it must be pushing it too hard, or something's not going around, because when the film goes through there, it tends to all get bunched up, sadly. However, on Ben's camera show, we don't take that as an answer. We're not letting this thing go without trying it out. So what I did is I got the rest of the sound cartridge that I shot half in the Bolex, no, quarter in the Bolex, a quarter in the Yashica. I thought, let's give the Eumig a go. But you can't put it into there; it'll chew it up. So I did a transplant. That's right. I did a transplant of film. In fact, let's have a look before I show you the footage that I shot here. Let's have a look at what I did to. Oops, not that. That's what I did. Show what I did to develop this. Firstly, the Agfa, lovely pink stuff came off first. I developed it in a Lomo spiral, and then I filmed and recorded on. I'm going to go back on my my little tape recorder. I know I could have done it on a digital recorder, and in fact I did. Just to be absolutely safe, I filmed it. I recorded sound on my phone as well, but the tape recorder worked. So then I had to connect the tape recorder to the computer. Oh, I've got hiccups. And that's the sound all being recorded only on one side for some reason. Doesn't matter. And that's the film being digitized by my Wolverine. I got a bone to pick with that Wolverine. I'll tell you all about that later. So then I put the sound together with the picture, and I got this with the Eumig. Testing the Eumig 128 sound in the kitchen, f2.4. That's it?
Done.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So what's cooking?
Curry and tortellini.
Beautiful ravioli.
Or ravioli.
Which will cook in 2 minutes, so
You have to set the timer.
gotta wait for that.
Thank you. That was all. I slowed that down a little bit. There we go. So the sound actually sounds better than the sound recorded on the Bolex. The sound natively recorded on the Bolex. Yes, that's right. It's a bit of a fudge, but I had to record this sound. I had to outsource the recording of the sound basically onto audio cassette, and then put it all together on the computer afterwards. But you know, like you saw, it does work. You do have that. You do have that noise coming on the soundtrack a little bit. But what Super 8 sound film would not be complete without a bit of camera noise in there. You better get used to camera noise. There's going to be a lot more of it. So the Eumig Sound 128 XL. Let's see if that's worth anything on the eBay. Right, what have we got here? 128 XL movie camera, £70.85. My goodness, £12.83. Oh, okay, well maybe that one. Oh, it says parts only. This one pre-owned. Does it work? Ah, wait, that's the 128 XL without sound. Okay, they made a version without sound. In fact, I do have a picture of that. I have a picture. Where is it? Here it is. Yeah, this was the 128 XL doesn't have sound, which is basically what my one turned into. And it comes, see, look at that weird, that hockey puck looking thing there. What is it? Oops. This thing, one of the accessories. AKA this thing. What is it? Well, oh, what just happened? What it is, it's a wide-angle lens. That's what it is. It is a wide-angle lens that the lovely people at Eumig give you with this camera. Look at that. Nice. Nice. I could look at that. I can put it on my webcam. Put it this way up. In fact, this thing, this wide-angle lens, will actually fit onto a Canon 814 auto zoom. And I've put it on one of those, and it works. It's a 58mm screw. So if you have any other camera that works for this thing, stick it on there. So that's what I used to film that footage you just saw. It's just very nice. It's very nice for getting up close and personal to your subject. And it didn't look too bad. It didn't look... let's just have a look at that one more time. So that's with the wide-angle lens.
Testing the Eumig.
All right. I don't need to hear the sound again. So that's with the wide-angle lens. No real distortion. And yeah, I've got to say, it's there it is. There it is. I can't get that kind of shot with any of my Super 8 cameras without some kind of wide angle. So yeah, it works. You know, the wide angle lens works. The camera works. It makes a hell of a noise, and it doesn't like sound cartridges. And it comes with a whole bunch of really cool little accessories. So enough for the Eumig. Yes, that was made. Let's see when that was made. Let's see. Let's compare some of these. The Bolex 564 was first made in 1979. The Yashica was first marketed 76. It was in production from 76 to 80. And the Eumig, 1980. 1980 is a bit of a cutoff for Super 8 cameras. They did make a few after. I think Bolex carried on making them into the 90s. But, you know, that's a Bolex. You know, so there's some hot stuff, those Bolex. I think maybe Bauer made one later. I don't know. Eumig, yeah, after this, they were pretty much done, Eumig. So it's kind of sad. These cameras are all basically the headstones on some very, otherwise, very, very illustrious camera companies. Anyway, a question. Ben Marshall. Is the capstan running? Probably perished belt on that, so the film is effectively stopped by the sound mechanism. Yep. Probably you're right. Yeah. I mean, if there's a belt in there, I'm in real trouble. I was hoping I could just lubricate something. I mean, I'm not even going to let it make that noise again. It's obviously in pain. Poor thing. Right. On to my next camera. Music, please. Here's the next camera. What? Come on, why is it in a plastic bag? You may wonder. Well, unfortunately, smells cannot be transmitted through the internet. Well, maybe fortunately, because this is a Sankyo Sound XL40S. It's called a Sankyo, but you know what? It might as well have been called a Stankyo because, yeah. This thing smells, I cannot describe the smell. I really can't. It's I guess old plastic or perished rubber or I don't know, or sort of just sort of 100-year-old cigarette smoke. I don't know. I had to put it in a plastic bag because when I was setting everything up today, I was working at this right here, and I just kept smelling this thing, and it smelled, made me crazy. I had to put it in a plastic bag, and yes, I've wiped it with vinegar. I put it in a box with coffee grounds and newspaper. I have tried hydrogen peroxide. I've even tried Windoline on the thing. Nothing will remove the smell, and I think it's somehow integral. Either it's coming from inside, or it's integral to the plastic, to the aged plastic of this thing. Maybe it's old rubber. I don't know. It's not like a disgusting smell. It's just like that's enough of that now. Okay, the Sound XL. This is actually a little bit earlier. Let me see in my notes here. Oh, once again. Let's get the, there we go. Sankyo Sound XL40S. When was this? When did this come out? 1975. All right. Sankyo did make, I think it was their Supertronic or Super CM, not Super CM. Anyway, they made a range after this, so it's not quite the last one. What do you want me to do? Go out and buy a clapped out Sankyo end of the line just for continuity? No. You're going to get what I've got. Okay, so let's hear the motor on this thing. Did I put batteries into the damn thing? No, I didn't. What a silly bunt. Right, here we go. Easy peasy. Put batteries in. And let's hear it. Sometimes it doesn't want to go, but this is... Not bad. Not bad purr, actually. Yeah, a quite reasonable, you know, working kind of noise with this thing. Sankyo, says Ben Marshall. Yeah, if you could smell this, yeah, Sankyo would be your first reaction. Right, it's got on, off, run RL, which of course is run lock. So put it on and put that, there we go, it's still running. It's got speeds, it's got 18 and 24. To be honest, I never really shoot 24. I know it looks better quality, but, you know, your Super 8 runs out really quickly. Battery check. Funnily enough, the battery check, there's no light that comes on the eyepiece. There's no light that comes on this side of the camera. If you press battery check, you get that on the front. See where it says Sankyo. Anyway, funny. Also, I believe I should have had a microphone all set up and ready. I think when you talk into this thing, let's have a look. 1, 2. Sometimes some of these ones, I think it's on the Bolex actually. Yeah, it's on the Bolex, where a light actually flickers on the front of the camera with the sound, which is really handy because if someone's filming you and you're talking, you can actually see that it's working. This is a bit odd. Let's put the mic back on. Why not the camera mic? It's got that old-fashioned. Oh, power zoom doesn't work. No, it only works when you're actually running, which sucks. You know, there's no reason for a camera to only have that when you're running, but some cameras do, and Sankyo, unfortunately, a bit of a culprit on this score. What's on the other side? Well, it's got the open. That sun. That looks like the. It's weird, you know, because that's your sun filter. But it doesn't switch. It doesn't keep on. It just, you push it in and it comes out again. Maybe it's not the sun filter, but it certainly looks like one. It's got the sun on it. That's very odd. Usually there's a sun and a light bulb and you switch between them. This time not. And here, yes, thank you, Sankyo. Thanky, Sanky, Stanky. You has an actual manual aperture. Yeah. Anyway, so Scott Chamberlain says it's mold or mildew. You know, I know what mold and mildew smell like, and I know what old leather smells like, and this thing doesn't have any leather in it. It may well. It's not quite moldy. It's not a moldy smell. It's a plasticky. It's just decayed plastic, I guess. Is the smell. Okay, the open thing. A bloody great lever to open the thing. It's actually got. Ooh. It's got a 3-position open thing where if you open it, I should have got a sound cartridge to show this. Do I have one? Not unless I go off somewhere. Yeah, so you push it down, it opens, it pops the catch, you can open it. If you pull it down even more, it actually pops the cartridge out a bit. So you can take it out easily. So it's the same eject button. It's got a door open and cartridge eject thing there. And it's very odd the way the film compartment is so open plan. Look at this. It's got this whole kind of bit on the door here, which actually opens up the top as well. And I'm wondering if this thing might or might not take those 200-foot cartridges. But then what would you do with this door if you put one of those 200-foot? No, that would shut right on it. No, that doesn't make sense. I don't know. It's a very odd thing that the cartridge, maybe it's just for ease of putting the cartridge in. Scott James said, how much are you paying for Super 8 sound cartridges? Well, I am lucky enough that the guy in America found found someone who was getting rid of a ton of them, of old Kodachrome ones. And he sent me a whole bunch just for the postage. That was Bill Maloney, who spells his name on Facebook Bologna, which is Bologna. So yeah, Bologna. Anyway, thanks, Bill Bologna. Oh, see, you got me doing it now. Sorry about that, Bill. Yeah, it's he got me like more Super 8 sound cartridges than I'm gonna shoot for a long time, considering how clapped out my cameras are. I also have some of these Agfa ones. The Agfa ones I was lucky enough that Del G sent me, who's a regular here, sent me like, I don't know, I think they ended up being about 10-15 pounds each, maybe a tenner each. I got a good deal on the color ones, and I got a great deal on black and white ones, even though they're all Kodachrome, and with all the associated problems with developing Kodachrome. However, I'm good for sound cartridges. You can find them on eBay for like, for between 10 and 15 pounds. Make sure what make sure you know that this Kodachrome and whatever is difficult to process. Talking of difficult to process, this thing chews up sound cartridges. Yes, it does. So what are we supposed to do about that? Well, the same as the other one. I used the rest of the sound film, put it into this. The one after I was finished with the Eumig, I put it in the Sankyo, and I shot. So let's have a look. I've run out of space to put these cameras down. Crap, that'll have to do. Let's see what the Eumig looks like. Again, recorded on sound recorded on an audio cassette, and film recorded on a reloadable cartridge. Sound film in a silent cartridge. Yes, I did it. Sankyo, here we go.
Okay, so now testing out the Sankyo Sound 40 XL, 40S XL.
Not bad.
Just enjoyed my lovely ravioli. Out of this butter dish.
Thank God the film ran out. That's all I can say. Before David Byrne came knocking on my door. So actually it looked all right. It looked not bad at all. It I know it was a clapped out old camera and smells funny, but yeah, it actually, again, it did the job. It filmed the stuff in silently, and I was able to put the sound on from the audio cassette. Great sound, says John Oates. Yeah, and that was from the Synchronex audio tape recorder, recorded separately and put on and everything. It's not bad. Yeah, thing works. What am I going to tell you? Scott Chambers says old metal cameras is where I found it first. Regular 8 and 16 millimeter. Are you talking about mildew? I guess maybe. Yeah, mildew grows on metal as well. Ooh. Now, oh my God, it's already 8 o'clock. Right, we got one also ran before the end of the show. I got 2 things to show you before the end of the show, but 3. All right, well, I wasn't actually going to feature this in the show, but it comes from the same generation. Oh. And it's same generation. It's the Nizo 3056, the 3056. Now, if this thing was working really well, then it would be a peach of a camera. Unfortunately, it doesn't even play more than 5 seconds of a silent cartridge. It's that clapped out. Of course, it doesn't play a sound cartridge, but yeah. I mean, I don't know what to do with it. I was given it, and I don't know. Selling it seems to be a bit rude if I was given it. Look at this thing. That's a shoulder pod. You actually press that thing against your lower shoulder. You know where people get shot in the movies when they want them to survive. They always get shot about there. It's holds it steady. There we go. And yeah, I mean it'll just about do 5 seconds of silent film. I didn't even bother to put batteries in it. because it's a bit of a hassle to open up this thing. It's held together with tape. Yeah, the Nizo is, you know, of the generation. I don't think Nizo made many more sound cameras after this one. This was like 1979, 1980. They all called it quits after that. So that's the Nizo. Very quick. You know, it's got a nice microphone on it. It's got a proper a DIN microphone socket, and it's got a bunch of like flash sync and stuff here. It's got some microphone controls here, and very strange markings here. I believe that's to do with single frame. It might even be. Could it possibly be another intervalometer? I think it might be, which is very rare with sound cameras to have an intervalometer. Yeah. So anyway, that's enough of the Nizo. That was, you know, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Let's have a look at the two of the other things I was going to show you. Okay, firstly. Ah, yes. Okay. The picture, as you saw, was a very sort of orangey color. I've joked in the past that everything I film looks like that Blade Runner movie, the second Blade Runner movie. That's just the age of the Agfa. Also, it's the fact that I developed it as a color negative in ECN-2. Not what you're supposed to with this stuff, but I've got ECN-2 and it works, so I'm using it. If you develop it properly, you want E6. Maybe for season 3 of Ben's Camera Show, I'll get out the E6 and actually do some proper color reversal. Yes. If we get renewed. Ben Marshall says the 4080 and the 6080 are very nice. Ooh. I see. Ah, right. They're better than this one. Yes, I'm sure they are. He also says if it runs, try cleaning the contacts. I could try. I mean, I could open up all of these things and try and just soak it in WD-40. Don't worry, I'm not going to do that. I know WD-40 is not what you're supposed to put on all this stuff. Right. Got a couple of things left to show you. I got a couple. What have I got here? Okay, here is. Yes, I said about that orange cast. Now, that orange cast might be partly because of my Wolverine. Because this is the film. This is just from my phone. I projected the negative and filmed it with my phone and reversed it digitally. And the orange color, it really isn't that bad. So the actual negative might not be stained orange. It might be my Wolverine, which has, frankly, pretty crappy color correction settings. Oh God! Quick before he starts singing again. In fact, Wolverine has a setting where you can scan and it'll invert to a positive as it's scanning. And this is what comes out when you do that. My God, I mean, even more orange. This is uncorrected. This has just come straight off the Wolverine. Horrible looking. It's actually, I don't know, the grain doesn't look too bad, but it's just, I don't know. I think my Wolverine isn't very good. In fact, it started, I think it might be because I took the film off and scanned it before it was fully dry, but it put a few scratches on it as well. So bad Wolverine. Wolverine done me dirty, unfortunately. Not only is it giving incorrect color temperatures when it scans, but it's scratching the film as well. Oh dear, it might be time to trade up to a better one. Why not? And finally, before the before we go on to the little treat, the film treat of the end, I showed you this before, but I actually filmed it. My wife filmed me doing it now, so it's actually this is done better. This is how I get rid of difficult to remove remjet. Remjet is this nasty, not that one, is this nasty black stuff which is on the back of a lot of sound film, a lot of negative. It's often with the newer stock, I'm able to get it off just by running it under water and rubbing it a bit with the old nitrile gloves. Some of it's really hard to get off. You really need to rub it hard. And this is how I did that. So I put the spiral in the sink. I pull off a length without it going on the floor. And then, you've seen this before, but here's me doing it again. It's, yeah, I put a wet towel on top of a newspaper on the back of a chair. And when it's full of remjet, I move it over to the next bit. And there we go. The towel is disposable, by the way. I chucked that after. It's from an old dressing gown. And then the film that's got most of it cleaned off, I put in some water there just to stay wet. Remjet. We all hate remjet, but you know, sometimes you just gotta go tough on it. Yes, that's right. Oh. So there you have it. I've been walking with dinosaurs this week. I have been resurrecting cameras which spent years, possibly decades, in the boots of cars and in attics, and just quietly going mouldy, thinking that no one would ever use them again. And I got them at various auctions and gave them one last hurrah before I passed them on to some unlucky person. But they're only unlucky if they try and shoot sound film in them, because really, I mean, I think I'm just going to record on the record separately and sync it up afterwards, because I had to do that anyway with the stuff that actually got recorded onto sound, because it had to be taken off the projector and then on the computer and then synced up anyway. So I might as well record it on something good. Maybe I'll get a good sound recorder. Yeah, with a good sound recorder and E6 process, I'll be laughing. Ben Marsh says, scratches are standard Wolverine treatment. Some mods can be done to lessen the scratches. Yeah, I know. Yeah, mine never did this before, but it just maybe it's because the film was very freshly off the press, off the drying rack, and it was still maybe a little bit soft. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look at some of the old films that I scanned on the Wolverine. They've probably all got like scratches on them now. Oh dear, why can't they just make a good cheap scanner? I don't know. Anyway, let's have some fun now. I'm going to show you now. Let's go into the screening room. We're going to finish up. Oh wait, let's just see if I've got anything. Nope, that's it. We're going to finish up with the last sound film I ever shot. I have a shot, you know, and got developed properly, should we say. I shot this on a Canon 814X, what was it? A Canon AF514 XLS, which was a very nice camera. It's broken now, but it's okay. It was It was on a holiday. I went hiking with some friends in Skye in 1995. Damn, that's like at least 10 years ago, isn't it? Does this feel like the 90s were only 20 years ago? 22 years ago, if you want to be really. Anyway, so let's have a look. Yep, that's working. DSLR is working. We'll be watching this on a Eumig, and I'm going to have to do some tinkering now so we can get the sound on. So yes, I went on a walking trip to Skye with a couple of friends, and we had a very nice time. And I brought my camera and I filmed with sound film. And then not long after that, I shot maybe a bit of silent. And then after that, I had a video camera for a few years. So yeah. And then by the time I started shooting Super 8 again, they stopped making sound. So this was the last proper sound film that I got. Kodachrome got developed, and let's have a look. Firstly, the lights. Okay, lights, camera, projector, and action. Ooh. Oh, got to plug the thing in first. Just a minute. Now I've turned the lights out. I can't find the bit where you plug it in. Oh, bloody hell. There we go. All right. Okay, it's plugged in. Let's get the sound. Let's get the sound up. All right. I might have to cut the sound once or twice because there's a couple of naughty words. Let's see the Isle of Skye in Scotland. That was on the way up. We drove all night.
What?
Sorry about that. Sorry for your ears, everyone. There is now a bridge across to Skye, but this was before when they had a ferry, a little car ferry. Of course, you can hear the clacking of the camera because I don't have the mic a proper distance away. Don't judge me. It's old school camera time. Oh look, who's that?
In case you haven't noticed it, we're in Skye.
Refreshed,
Watch the wire.
revitalised.
Damn, it still looks good.
Oh, rude.
I've had enough, let's go.
I think it's
Hey! Turn round. Uh-oh. This is the start.
Here we are, and I bumped into my GP this morning. He told me this time last year it took them 3 months to find some Germans on this ridge.
We're going to walk about, was it 12 miles along this ridge?
12 miles. This is the Scottish version of how you do it, I think it is. They've already tried to kill Jake. Yeah, German. Von, if you're watching, the resurgence of German nationalism is here in Skye.
It's playing
Yeah,
little.
and Von, if we don't make it, you cannot have my hi-fi, okay?
We didn't sound quite that squeaky. It's playing slightly fast, I think.
The weather's changed. We're not sure. Oh my God! Get away from that ledge. We're going to abandon. Try and cut down the east side of the ridge. It's going to be tricky, but if we stay up here, we're not going to make it.
Yeah, that was hairy. That we made it.
Ah, shit. Sliced it.
And Heskia still looking for his ball. Botyard is helping him. Sheep not helping, obviously.
Yeah, there was actually an explosion. They were mining, and we had to stop. We had to stop playing golf.
So we're going to go camping today?
Oh God, that was a disaster. Along with the walk, my knee still hurts from that walk.
Well, we did the Trotteridge Ridge and Trotternish Ridge, and this is how it affected me.
The helicopter journey was really bad down from the mountain, and look at him now. He's just everywhere we go, they ask us.
Some bad words there.
Anyway, we're now going to a beach where there'll be fun and frolics galore.
We can't quite remember how far it is, but we'll get there.
And we're going to eat when we get there as well. We're going to make our own food, so see you there. Spicy chili, yes. Richard! Did you take us through 3 miles of swampland for this? It's covered in shit!
Oh my God, a bad word. I forgot to cut that one. I was joking. The beaches in Scotland are lovely. Not that one though.
I think we're out of fuel.
No dinner tonight.
We're just cooking our lunch in this lovely bay here. The sun's gone in again and it's now pissing down with rain. But it's great. And I can't think of anything else to say of any consequence because nothing seems to happen.
So have you enjoyed your holiday, Mr. Botyard?
Yes, it's been wonderful. I've had the time of my life living like a local and roaming in the...
Oh look, Phil's here.
Well, I strip naked in the evening.
Okay, I gotta cut that bit.
This is Scottish Costa Brava. You don't get crowded beaches. That's something.
Oops, overexposed that.
Strike
too.
Ben Marshall says aged better than VHS for sure. Looks good. Thank you, Ben. Yes. Damn right, it looks good. I should have shot more, really.
Well, how is it?
It wasn't.
Day 6, all we've got left to eat are 2 cheeky mint cakes.
Well, as I always say, we're near the end of the holiday. Richard?
I think I've said enough, to be honest.
I haven't seen Richard for ages. Richard, give us a call.
Somewhere up there, there's Jake and Richard.
Yeah, I couldn't go up there because my knee was hurting after the Trottenish Ridge. Scottish water.
We're about to leave the island and probably the road too. Who cares? I don't. Fuck.
Oh dear, another bad word. You see, we were all like 25 or so 24.
Yeah.
So we thought swearing was clever and funny.
On the,
Yeah, Phil, thank you for that. I did try and get that crud out of my projector gate. This Eumig projector is very difficult to reach the gate. I didn't want to screw my projector up before the just like 5 minutes before the show, just for the sake of a bit of dust inside. Anyway, that's it, everyone. That is great. Just we need some upbeat music. I get some horrible. There we go, everyone. That is the end of the camera show. My God, it went quickly. Thank you all for tuning in. Next week, second Super 8 Life, I call it, with my guest Jake Taylor. Jake Taylor, and this was a good one to end on, to end the season on next week. Jake Taylor fixes Super 8 cameras. He is a professional camera repair person. And after tonight, I need him more than ever. We all need him. After all, it's the people who fix these cameras who are responsible for the medium even surviving into the next decade even. Number of working cameras is going to get less and less unless people actually get off and fix it. And we're going to have him on. I'm going to ask him all sorts of things. Not least, can you fix one of my cameras that's up the spout? Oh my God. I might learn how to fix them myself. I really should. Anyway, so over so soon, says John. Yes, I know. That was just flew by. When you're messing around with cameras, the time just shoots by. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. It has been a lovely evening, and this time and next week, next Friday, I get my COVID shot. Yay! So I won't get COVID, at least not the strain they're vaccinating against. So hooray! It just shows how old I am. And we'll talk to Jake Taylor the day before I get my COVID shot. But until then, goodbye everyone, and thank you very much for tuning in. I don't know. I guess I will. I'll be right here. Top show, says Ben Marshall. I'll be on the chat if you want to keep chatting. But if not, then we'll see you next week. Yeah. Let's get back into the main camera show. Let's there we go. One here and one here. There we go. One for each ear. Oh, it's not working. Good night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. And see you next week.